right now in the sports world, there's a whole lot going on, and so if we were going to talk about everything, we'd have to be here for days and days and days. So I want to hit some of the more recent stuff today, starting with the Olympics just finished up. So happening in France, a lot of different action from different sports like swimming to even the tennis side, people doing the soccer thing, and the primary sports, basketball and gymnastics and everything. So some of the bigger names coming out of there, Simone Biles coming away with more medals, just absolutely crushing it in the gymnastics world.
Dominating without question.
There's not an athlete like her. Like when you watch her on TV, some of these different movements, and the thing that impresses me so much is she can literally step out of bounds and still get the top scores. That's how athletic it is with Simone Biles.
I mean, it's like other gymnasts are trying to make it happen, but they're just not as good as her. They're just not as physical as her.
Yeah,
nothing like it.
If you don't have that ability to emulate, I mean, people are looking for second place when they're going with Simone Biles, so that's tough. But there was a big controversy. So Jordan Childs, her teammate, ended up having the bronze and then not having the bronze, and then it went back and forth. So for those who don't know, the way the situation went down was originally her teammate Jordan Childs was competing at the Olympics, and I think she took like a fifth or a fourth or a fifth, and a young lady from another country ended up taking the bronze. But then there was a petition put in, which you can do in gymnastics if you're under the certain time limit of putting it in.
Yeah, I think it was like what?
It's like a minute.
It's like a minute or 30 seconds or something like that.
And so they put that petition in, and they flipped the decision. And Jordan Childs, I remember seeing it on TV at the time. Like she's like freaking out, so stoked, gets the bronze medal for USA. But then they bring it back again. And they say, oh, the other side filed a petition and you didn't get it in on time, so now you don't have the bronze medal. So what are your thoughts on that whole thing? Like, one, being able to have a back and forth of who won the bronze medal or who won the silver or the gold, like, is that how it should be to you? Does that take away some of the excitement and the enjoyment? What's your opinion?
I don't know. I think this petition thing should last longer. Like, if you need to make a petition about a potential problem, then you should have a little bit more time than 60 seconds to put in that petition.
Yeah. If you have like referees, so we deal with this whole concept a lot in sports, right? Just how much subjectivity there is in sports and less objectivity. And if you're an athlete, you've dealt with both sides. You've dealt with things going your way with referees where you're like, hey, today's our day. And you've dealt with things where it seems like the game has to be being rigged. It's so lopsided. But I've always felt like the parity in sports is important. It's the reason why people watch. If sports get a little bit too hard and fast, every single call is accurate, every single play is accurate, it loses a little bit of the allure. It loses a little bit of the controversy. It loses a little bit of that cachet that people find. However, obviously there's a line to that where people start to become uninterested when referees or judges get too involved in a sport. So with a sport like basketball, you see so much subjectivity. It's like this one play can be a foul, and then somebody can get pushed, 5 yards away from where they are, and it's not a foul the next play. But in something like gymnastics, where they have these finite rules, these hard lines of if you're inbounds, if you're out of bounds, if you land on one leg, if you stick your landing, if you don't stick your landing. Something like a petition like that, where I think it was Jordan Childs got docked points for some dance floor routine that she did, and then they found out she didn't actually do it, and it's back and forth. So if you're her in that situation, like how do you feel? What are the emotions that go through your mind?
Let's just say I'd be going crazy. But also, like, you got to factor in that, like, refs are actually paid to make mistakes. Right? They're not paid to be perfect. They're paid to officiate the best way that they can. So I'd be pretty pissed off about it. Once again, I'd want more time to put in a petition. Like, obviously, there are some time limits that can't be stretched too much, but that petition has to be, you got to give a little bit more time, like, to put in a petition if there is an issue.
No doubt.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, you see the same exact situation in other sports. So